Welcome back to the Girl Code podcast, the space where we dive into the unfiltered conversations that matter most to our community. I'm your host, Destiny, and today we're tackling a topic that's long overdue for a real talk: the impact of Black reality TV on real Black women. From the over the top antics of love and hip hop to the catty conflicts of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, reality TV has become a guilty pleasure for many of us. We tune in weekly, sometimes with a mix of fascination and horror as we watch the drama unfold. But behind the manufactured storylines, the carefully edited sound bites, and the contrived conflicts, there's a more insidious reality: the perpetuation of stereotypes, the exploitation of Black women's images, and the distortion of what it means to be a Black woman in America. We've all been there, gathered around the TV with friends and family, cheering on our favorite cast members and sometimes cringing at the embarrassing behavior on display. But have we ever stopped to think about the impact these shows are having on our collective psyche? How they're shaping our perceptions of ourselves and our community, the way they're influencing the way we're perceived by others. The truth is, reality TV is more than just mindless entertainment. It's a reflection of our society's values, biases, and prejudices. And for Black women in particular, it's a double edged sword. On one hand, these shows provide a platform for Black women to be seen and heard. On the other hand, they often reinforce damaging stereotypes, perpetuate negative attitudes, and distort our experiences. Join me as we explore the complex and multifaceted ways in which Black reality TV shapes our perceptions of ourselves and our community. We'll be discussing the historical context of representation in media, the psychological effects of seeing ourselves reflected in these shows, and the ways in which we can reclaim our narratives and redefine what it means to be a Black woman on our own terms. Time to take a critical look at the media we consume and the impact it has on our lives. The history of representation in media is a long and complex one, filled with stereotypes, marginalization, and erasure. For Black women in particular, media representation has been a double edged sword. On one hand, it has provided a platform for Black women to be seen and heard. On the other hand, it has often reinforced damaging stereotypes, perpetuated negative attitudes, and distorted our experiences. One of the earliest and most enduring stereotypes of Black women is the mammy trope. Emerging during the era of slavery, the mammy stereotype portrayed Black women as subservient, obedient, and nurturing caregivers. This stereotype was perpetuated through literature, art, and film, and was often used to justify the enslavement and exploitation of Black women. The mammy stereotype has continued to evolve over time, but its core characteristics remain the same. Another stereotype that has had a profound impact on the representation of Black women is the Jezebel trope. Emerging during the early 20th century, the Jezebel stereotypes portrayed Black women as hypersexualized, promiscuous, and manipulative. This stereotype was perpetuated through film, literature, and music and was often used to justify the objectification and exploitation of Black women's bodies. In addition to the Mammy and Jezebel stereotypes, Black women have been portrayed in a number of other limiting and damaging ways. We've been portrayed as the strong Black woman who was expected to be stoic and unemotional in the face of adversity. We've been portrayed as the angry Black woman who was perceived as being overly aggressive and confrontational. We've been portrayed as the exotic other who was seen as mysterious and alluring, but ultimately unknowable. These stereotypes have been perpetuated through a wide range of media, from film and television to music and literature. The impact of these stereotypes cannot be overstated. They have contributed to a broader culture of racism and sexism and have helped to marginalize and erase the experiences of Black women. They have also had a profound impact on the self esteem and self worth of Black women, who are often forced to navigate a world that is hostile and unforgiving. Despite these challenges, Black women have continued to resist and subvert these stereotypes, using media as a tool for self expression and empowerment. Consuming Black reality TV can have a profound impact on our psychological well being. Research has shown that exposure to reality TV can lead to a decreased self esteem, body dissatisfaction, and internalized racism. A study by the National Association of Black Journalists found that 70% of African Americans believe that reality TV shows perpetuate negative stereotypes about Black people. For Black women, in particular, these shows can perpetuate negative stereotypes and reinforce damaging self image. By constantly portraying Black women as argumentative and aggressive and hypersexualized, these shows can make us feel like we're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough. One of the most insidious effects of Black reality TV is the way it reinforces negative stereotypes. Shows like Love and Hip Hop and The Real Housewives of Atlanta often portray Black women as one dimensional caricatures, reducing us to our anger, our attitudes, or our physical appearance. According to a study by the Media Diversity and Social Change Initiative at USC Annenberg, Black women are more likely to be portrayed in a negative light on reality TV than any other group. The study found that 63% of Black women on reality TV were portrayed as aggressive or confrontational, while only 12% were portrayed as intelligent or articulate. These stereotypes are not only damaging to our self image, but also perpetuate racism and sexism in the broader culture. The impact of these shows can be particularly damaging for young Black women who are already navigating the challenges of adolescence and identity formation. A study by the American Psychological Association found that exposure to reality TV can lead to increased body dissatisfaction, negative self image, and decreased self esteem in adolescent girls. By constantly exposing them to negative stereotypes about limited representations, we're limiting their sense of possibility and potential. We're telling them that they're only worthy of attention and validation if they conform to certain narrow standards of beauty, behavior, and identity. This can have long term effects on their mental health, self esteem, and overall well being. So, what can we do to resist the negative effects of Black reality TV? First, we need to be critical consumers of media, recognizing the ways in which these shows reinforce negative stereotypes and limit our representation. We need to seek out alternative representations of Black women in all our complexity and diversity. According to a study by the National Association of Black Journalists, 60% of African Americans believe that diverse media representation is essential for promoting positive social change. By supporting and uplifting each other, recognizing our worth and value beyond the narrow confines of reality TV, we can begin to break free from the damaging effects of Black reality TV. As Black women, it's time for us to reclaim our narratives and redefine representation. For too long, our stories have been told through the lens of others, perpetuating stereotypes and limiting our possibilities. But we have the power to change that. We can start by supporting and amplifying the work of Black women creators, writers, and producers who are telling our stories in authentic and in nuanced ways. We can also take control of our own narratives by sharing our own stories, experiences, and perspectives through social media, blogging, and other forms of self expression. There are already many examples of positive representation in media that we can draw inspiration from. Shows like Insecure, Atlanta, and Queen Sugar are pushing the boundaries of what it means to be Black and female in America. These shows are complex and unapologetically Black, offering a range of representations that reflect our diversity and multiplicity. We can also look to films like Moonlight, Hidden Figures, and The Hate You Give, which are telling our stories with dignity, respect, and authenticity. By supporting and celebrating these examples of positive representation, we can create a demand for more diverse and inclusive storytelling. So, what can you do to support positive representation in media? First, seek out and amplify the work of Black women creators and producers. Watch their shows, read their books, and share their content on social media. Second, take control of your own narrative by sharing your own stories and experiences. Write a blog, create a YouTube channel, or simply share your thoughts and opinions on social media. Third, demand more diverse and inclusive storytelling from the media companies and platforms you support. Fourth, Let's be intentional about the media we consume and support, choosing to amplify and celebrate programs that display positive portrayals of Black women. By boycotting media that perpetuates negative stereotypes and limitations, we can create a demand for more diverse and inclusive storytelling. Our dollars and attention are powerful tools. Let's use them to uplift and empower ourselves. Together, we can create a more just and equitable media landscape that reflects our diversity and promotes positive representation. In this episode, we explore the complex and multifaceted impact of Black reality TV on our perceptions of ourselves and our community. We examine the historical context of representation in media, discussing how Black women have been portrayed in limiting and damaging ways. We also delved into the psychological effects of consuming Black reality TV, including decreased self esteem, body dissatisfaction, and internalized racism. Finally, we discuss ways to reclaim our narratives and redefine representation, including supporting positive portrayals of Black women in media and taking control of our own stories. As we move forward, let's remember the power of media to shape our perceptions and our realities, and let's use that power to uplift and empower ourselves. Thanks for listening. Feel free to connect with us on Instagram at Girl Code Podcast. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and stay unstoppable.